So that just kind of confirms it. I guess I have always thought my favorite, now I've never attended any of them, but my favorite festival they've done is probably still the Clifford Ball, and mainly it's just, my God, after that first set, it'd been like, all right, discussion over. Okay, Big Cypress is in there for what they did there on New Year's Eve. That was obviously something amazing, but, and the jamming that came in things like Magna Ball, obviously the Lemon Wheel was no slouch, but Clifford Ball, they were still at that stage where, although they didn't have anything to prove, maybe they still felt like they had something to prove. And like some of these dinner and the movies we've seen over the last year, or the early 90s shows, my God, man, it's just like they just came out completely on fire, just relentless, would not be denied, and just from beginning to end, just going after it, just like, we are not going to be doubted. We are here to take over. And, that was still going on here a little bit with their first festival, the Clifford Ball, August 16th, 1996. In the Chalk Dust Torture opener, that was just, setting the tone. They come out rocking it, a little bit of a jam. Basically, just this entire first set would get the treatment, of course. And then Bathtub Gin, it was impossible not to rock back then. It had that built-in jam that it did, and the Yamar might get overlooked, but only because it followed this Bathtub Gin, and then the AC/DC bag that was after it. My God, those early to mid-90s AC/DC bags. It is not quite the heavy hitter now that it was back then, but, like the Yamar, no slouch. Esther after that, and then maybe you get Esther, Divided Sky, Bowie, 3 out of 4 songs with the Haley's Comet in there, but is that really something to complain about? Maybe if you're not hardcore. If you're not hardcore, maybe that's a bit much for you. But if you were at the Clifford Ball, I imagine you were hardcore. And if you were tuned in tonight, I imagine you're hardcore. Maybe you weren't hardcore for Dinner and a Movie Friday night edition. So we get Esther, we get Divided Sky, we get Bowie, we get Haley's. That was just kind of bringing, a little bit of a heavy, hard jam there in the Haley's. The Divided Sky seemed, live, it's hard to be just absolutely flawless with any of these, but all of these really close. That Esther, God damn, man, what a song that one is. So then we get over here to the second. So that was probably a 10 this set. There's not a lot of weak spots there, just going from beginning to end. Then we get over here, opening up the second set with Split Open and Melt. It's like, oh, okay, just more of this, huh? So then we get a Sparkle. All right, maybe the first one, like, all right, get out of here, Sparkle. That maybe possibly would be the first song that I would give the boot to if I was giving some boots here. But all right, well, it's hard to complain after all this. And then after the quick Sparkle, you get a Free, kind of coming with a vengeance there. A nice Squirming Coil, and then that's to show us the way here. A sign of what's to come with the Squirming Coil. Then we get the Acoustic Waste Talk, Train Song, Strange Design. And, nice of them to mix it up right there. That's kind of cool, taking a shot there like we got also in the late night set. Just doing something different. You're getting 3 sets again. Like, I can't complain about all these legends over here. Nobody's going to complain about this little 20-minute segment in the middle of the first set. Giving themselves a break. And then a little acapella, Hello My Baby, sneaking in there. And then, my God, just count the whole Mike's Groove as a big jam. The Mike's in the Week of Pog were the highlights. The Simple coming out of Mike's was great. The Contact got a little bit nasty. If Mike's is nasty, Contact, it was rubbing off on Contact a little bit, if that's even possible. Then we get over here, so this set, maybe I would just only give, I hate to give it a 9 because it was great, but maybe just because of the, what just happened there? What was that? Maybe because of the acoustic, everything good? We look good. All right, maybe because of the acoustic set, we would give that a 9, but that's the only reason why. Maki Super Policeman opening up over here. Calling the cops after they should have probably called the fire department after this smoke show in the first 2 sets. Then we get a 2000. I don't know. Trying to think what was. Yeah, okay. This was probably the big highlight, jammed out part of that set. Along with the early Melt and Free. So then we get going over here with Down with Z's 2001, giving us a sign of things to come. Pre-96, there was jams, Tweezer, of course, and other songs. Bathtub Gin had its moments. But a lot of it was just straightforward. This is what the song is, and we're just going to play it with as much as we got tonight. Down with Disease, stretching it out a little bit. Like I said, showing us what we were to have to come in the future. What Phish was to become. Phish, what have you become? They've gone even more jam band on us. But that's all right. Then we get an NICU. And, of course, I saw in the chat, everybody's got to mention this summer's NICU now. Life on Mars there, and I get the question mark on the whiteboard. And it was tough sneaking in these 3 sets. You know, this feels a little squishy here. Now we're getting a little out of control with the redness. You know, the sloppiness is nice, but come on. So then we get a hood here, and I saw the jam on the .net, but you know, after further review, probably would have got that out of there and just called it a fireworks jam, maybe. But the Harry hood, like everything over here, like all these legends and Hall of Famers, Harry hood just giving it absolutely everything they got, giving every ounce of Harry hood the treatment it deserves. Then getting a bit of a brief fuzzy jam as some fireworks go off and they walk off stage. Come back out for an Amazing Grace, and then came back out later that night for the old Secret set, rolling around on a flatbed, a bunch of weirdos following them, looking like a scene from Forrest Gump or something. But after all this is all you got. If you were one of the people that just was completely KO'd after this and missed the late night set, I would say that's all right. Clifford Ball, day 1. We got one more tomorrow. Whew, so that whole first set was probably my favorite. I mean, and then, God, there wasn't a whole lot of duds back then either, you know. I mean, look at all these. Chalk Dust, Gin, Yamar, Bag, Esther, Haley's Bowie, Melt, Free, Coil, a Mike's Groove with Simple and Contact, 2001, Down with Disease, The Hood, all in one show. Well, peeps, thanks for tuning in, and I guess, boom, we will probably do this again tomorrow night. Big day tomorrow, man. Buckeyes in Michigan. I'm feeling pretty good, you know. Never feel 100% confident in the big one, but feeling pretty good. But if things go poorly tomorrow, I'll probably be just like pounding fat tires and screaming at the world. I don't even know if dinner and a movie will pull me out of it. Boom. But let's hope that does not happen. Hopefully they smoke the Wolverines and we're in here all fired up, feeling extra good.